My whole basis of writing really came from hip-hop before even reggae. I write from a hip-hop mind frame first, and then when I got old I was like, no, but this needs to be more indigenous to where I come from. Yeah man, this is Protoje and I'm about to dig in the crates at Okayplayer Lounge. I discover music mainly on Spotify. I would say like on IG I follow a good amount of pages that lead me to good music as well. I think I hear most new music on Spotify just from playlists or recommendations or stuff like that. I think right now in this day and age most people discover it on DSPs and streaming. Streaming is like the biggest platform that an artist has right now to get their music out there. So that's where I think the numbers show that that's where people listen to music the most. Yeah, alright, some nice, some R&B vibe. See, because me don't know what they them, I don't want to pick a whole bunch of things early, kind of more go through. Classic, but God.
You own vinyl?
Yeah, I have a good collection. Ooh, this was crazy. Hoping I see Reasonable Doubt, so I'm not picking that yet. This was big in Jamaica. I grew up listening to a wide array of music, reggae, dancehall, hip-hop, soul. You know, I live in a house where I just had access to a lot of music, so I soaked everything in and I was, inspired by all of them. First hip-hop song I ever knew was Children's Story. That's why I picked Art of Storytelling by Slick Rick. I didn't even know it. It was like my dad's a high school coach at the time, so he would have like older students. I'd hear them rapping. One guy used to always rap Children's Story, Slick Rick. And I was like, rap it again. I see him next day, I was like, rap it again, until he brought like a folder, like a leaf of paper with all the lyrics on it. And he's like, bro, you learn it now and you rap it for yourself. And that's how I first ever DJ or rap or nothing was that. I never heard that song until maybe 6-7 years later. Them time there at Jamaica, you couldn't hear hip-hop but for like a half-an-hour segment on radio. Colin Hines used to play half-an-hour segment and that's all you'd hear. Johnny Kamoze, possibly my favorite reggae artist ever. His cover looks different. The Machine Gun Funk. That phrase is sick. My favorite album artwork. You know how many albums I listen to? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea how to answer that question. I like In Search of Lost Time album cover. It's me chasing after my daughter. You know, when you commit to your art and your craft, it's like you miss a lot of things and you may feel the need to like try to get back that time that's missing. So that's just, the album shows my daughter a little bit outside of my reach and I'm kind of reaching for her, and I love the sentiment that's was shot up by my studio up in the mountains by Yannick Reid, awesome album cover. My favorite hip-hop album in like the last 20 years. I hope I see some stuff, so I don't want to just pick the first 12 that I see. So I'm just kind of trying to go through and commit to memory what y'all have here. My favorite song is Like Royalty featuring Popcaan. For many reasons. One, when I wrote it, but most importantly, it's like a true representation of my journey as an artist and what it took for me to get where I had to sacrifice my mom made, sacrifice my friends made. All of that's just all real stuff. Then Popcaan obviously came on. He spoke about him recording Clarks up by Don Corleone's studio, where I kind of met Popcaan like 10 years before that. So it's just like this big history of like, life and where I'm at now. So that means the most to me. 5 songs I'd put on a playlist with Like Royalty. Skanking Sweet by Chronics. I'd say Where I'm Coming From, Lila Ike. Lion Order, Jesse Royal. Savannah, Bit Too Shy. That would have fit good. Let's say World of Reggae, Annie Kamoze. Oh, Rhythm Collection, sick by oh, Purple Tape, man. Cuban Linx, only built for Cuban Linx. One of my favorite Wu-Tang projects. Enter the Wu. I pick bare hip hop still, my favorite reggae. The last set of stuff I bought, I had to pick up Lana Del Rey, Born to Die, because I didn't have it on vinyl. And then I picked up some King Tubby's dub. Most of my vinyl collection is dub music. and I sprinkle a little bit of other stuff. Last concert, not my own, would have to be, I think I went to some stuff in February for Reggae Month in Jamaica. So I think I went to a show with Mortimer and Jalil. My whole basis of writing really came from hip hop before even reggae. I write from a hip hop mind frame first, and then when I got old I was like, no, but this needs to be more indigenous to where I come from. And then gradually I start to see the influence of like Jay-Z and just his rhyming, and then his producers like, you know, Just Blaze, Bink, and like Kanye from Blueprint era, and how they were sampling lots of the soul. I was like, yo, maybe I could sample some old reggae and kind of give it that bop where it's like, you know, more aggressive drums over the bass and music, and that's how I start formulate my sound. Two artists would I love to collaborate. I never think about this type of stuff, so it might take me a little time. Lila, Ike, and Steve and Marley. I just think it would be crazy. I just think two voices that are so distinct, the energy, I think they'd make an absolutely beautiful record. Honestly, I have to say Jay-Z, that's who I would collaborate with. Just because, as I say, like, I think my entire craft as an artist, or the majority of it, was built in that era when I was listening to Blueprint, Black Album, going back to Reasonable Doubt, the storytelling, the swag, the flow, the calmness. Them times I would hear like a Jay-Z line, and I say, how would you say that as a yard man, you know? He would say, you already know what I'm about, moving birds down south. And I was like, you already know what me dep on, girl, keep your posh like Beckham, girl. And like, so enough of the stuff I would just kind of incorporate the style and energy. Some non-reggae artists that I think embody reggae, I would say Tupac. Songs like Keep Your Head Up, Brenda's Got a Baby, Dear Mama would go there, I think, on a level. And then I think Jorja Smith, you know, it's an R&B and it's an energy, and it's what I always think of, you know, like her as a lovers rock artist, and it would be, I'd be like, but you know, I think that would be crazy. Dennis Brown. Black Uhuru, definitely. Kamoze. Obviously Bob Marley and Wailers, and think they really make a difference to me. This definitely influenced my album In Search of Last Time 2020. Alright, so I would say Burning by the Wailers. I mean, you could pick any Bob Marley album. I mean, he made just classics. Like, how do you have a catalog and everything is a classic? You know how crazy that is? It's like, out of like 10 records, anyone could pick one and say it's your favorite, and you can't really argue with them. You always pick Bob Marley and the Wailers, and this is even just the Wailers. This is even before the Bob Marley and part, so it's just classic. Yeah, you're asking me about Astroworld, and it was about to be the first album I was executive producing on my own without a co-exec or nothing. So I was crafting the sound, seeing who I wanted to work with and kind of pull it together. And Astroworld, the way how Travis Scott was approaching the melodies, just the way how the melodies are and the layers within it, the ad-libs, everything. I'd like you to listen to a song on In Search of Last Time called Deliverance. Oh Lord, I give my praises. Oh Jah, deliver me through these days. That energy was me. I was in LA, like listening to Butterfly Effect, and it just inspired me. That and Deliverance are like, they match. That energy was very inspiring. So yeah, Astroworld. Alright, this definitely.
Your favorite Bob?
Song So Much Trouble in the World, Natural Mystic, Black Album. I didn't find Reasonable or the Blueprint, so this is like my third Jay-Z option.
What's your favorite music video?
Thriller was crazy. Michael Jackson Thriller, you cannot go wrong with that. Obviously it's cliche, but bro, like seeing that stuff as a kid, it was just crazy. Choreography, the art, makeup, everything that they used on it was just crazy, and yeah, nobody can vex with me for that.
What are your top 3 albums of all time?
I would say Sly and Robbie presents Kamoze. That's like one of my favorite reggae albums ever. Damian Marley, Welcome to Jamrock. That for me changed my life. And then I'd say Illmatic, Nas. 3 albums that define my upbringing. I'd say Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 99, Eternal. I think that for sure, like, was such a big part of growing up. I think the first record I ever bought in my life was Snoop Dogg, Doggystyle. I think Survival album, Bob Marley, that has so much trouble in the world. Alright, this. Michael Jackson Jam. I think him and Michael Jordan did another video. I work with this. Oh, alright. I don't know this one specifically, but this fella you can't go wrong really. Yeah, my cousin Don Corleone, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. We grew up together. He lived next door to me for a while. He'd be exposed to stuff before me, so he'd bring home sound cassettes, sound tapes, Kilimanjaro, Bass, This Is Stone Love, and he'd play them, and I would just listen to all the songs and study them. And then we went to Kingston, formed a sound system together. I went away for a bit. He blew up as a producer. I was trying to find my own way back into music, just doing my own thing. I did my first song, Arguments, which was a big song. You know, eventually Don told me to come to studio, and he came to one of my live shows, and he saw what I was doing on my own, and then he was like, yo, come studio. And then he taught me how to make good songs. It was like, bro, if you don't make good songs, nobody's gonna remember. Make songs to make people feel stuff. So he taught me out about song structure and variation and stuff like that. And obviously he was killing it, and the work that he's done in reggae music and dancehall music speaks for itself. I think production is the first thing I recognize in a song. It's just the sound, it's the sonics, it's music, like my ears. How is it absorbing what I'm hearing right now? To even open up my heart and my mind to listen to what someone is saying. The production is a huge part of my processing and giving the time to listen to something. This is Protoje, and I just get to dig the crates at Okayplayer Lounge.